Good morning to students. My name is S.Mani. I am a history teacher. Today I am going to teach about 10th standard history, 8th lesson, Nationalism-GANDHIAN. All students should give more special attention towards this lesson. Don't waste your time. You should give your own care and read more and gain more knowledge. If you have any doubt, please approach the teacher. We are always ready to explain and clear the doubt of the students. Thank you very much. Today I am going to teach about evolution of Gandhi. Gandhi is called a father of our nation. He is a patriotic leader, freedom fighter. His own name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. His real name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He was born on October 2nd, 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat. His father name was Kaba Gandhi. His father also worked as a Diwan of Porbandar. Later, his father became a Diwan of Rajkot. His mother name was Putli Bai. After completion of matriculation examination, he wanted to study about law in England in 1888. After he became a barrister, he returned back to India. He started the law practice in in India, but he failed. Due to failure of the law practice in India, he decided to go to South Africa to fight against racial discrimination. His journey from Durban to Pretoria at Pietersmaritzburg railway station. As he was the black man, he was physically thrown out of the first class compartment. After this incident, Gandhi was determined to fight against the British. He reached the Transvaal in Africa. He called all the Indians to fight against the British. He called the Indians to assemble conference in Transvaal. He called the Indians in order to seek redress of their grievances. He organized many meetings, fought against the British. He gave a number of petitions to the authorities to demand claims and rights of the people. Indians who lived in Transvaal, they were imposed by poll tax by British, $3 per head. Indians who lived in Transvaal, they were prohibited. They were restricted not move out of the city at night time after 9 p.m. Gandhiji established a Phoenix settlement 1905, Tolstoy landforms 1910. He organized two settlements, Phoenix settlement 1905, Tolstoy farms 1910. In these two settlements, he inculcated equality, community living, dignity of laborers. What was the real name of the Gandhiji? Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. When he was born on October 2nd, 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat. What was the name of his father name? Kaba Gandhi. What was his father? His father was a Subedar of Porbandar and Rajkot. What was his mother name? Putli Bai. When did he study law? He studied law in England 1888. What was the experience of his railway journey? He decided to go to South Africa to fight against racial discrimination. That's why he traveled from train from Durban to Pretoria to Pietersmaritzburg railway station. As he was the black man, he was physically thrown out of the first class compartment. That's why he was totally disappointed. He was determined to fight against the British. Why did he call Indians to Transvaal? In order to seek redress of their grievances. Name the tax which was imposed by British on the Indians who lived in Transvaal. Full tax, $3 per head. What are the settlements implemented by Gandhiji? Phoenix Settlement, 1905. Tolstoy Farm, 1910. What did he inculcate in these two settlements? He inculcated equality, community living, dignity of labor. Next, I should explain about Samran Satyagraha. Samran Satyagraha. Samran is one of the village. It lies in Bihar. In this village, Tinkadiya system was implemented. Tinkadiya system, it was implemented by European plantation owners. It was an exploitative system. Under these systems, Indian peasants were compelled to cultivate only indigo, natural dye plant, on their 3/20th of land holdings. Indian peasants were compelled by British to pay more land tax to the British. Indian peasants were compelled to pay illegal overdues also. Among the peasants, Rajkumar Shukla. Rajkumar Shukla, he was one of the Indian agriculturist. He was severely affected by this scheme. He met the Gandhiji, he approached Gandhi, he explained all sorrowful of peasants. He asked Gandhiji's support to fight against the British. Gandhiji also was ready to support the peasants. Gandhiji was compelled by British police to leave very immediately from this place. Gandhiji refused to leave the place. Gandhiji was summoned for trial. This news was spread to many parts of the area. Very immediately, thousands of the people came to assemble here and supported Gandhiji. Gandhiji was also supported by French Kishore Prasad and Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad, he was the first president of India after free India. Under this circumstance, Gandhiji recommended for the abolition of Tinkadiya movement. Success of Samran Satyagraha. Success of Samran Satyagraha was followed by Ahmedabad mill strikes 1918, Kheda Satyagraha 1918. All these which helped Gandhiji to establish himself as a great leader for mass struggle. Where is Samran located? Samran is located in Bihar. When the system was adopted by European plantation owners in Samran, Tinkadiya system. What was this system? It was an exploitative system. Under the systems, Indian peasants were suppressed. Indian peasants were disappointed. Indian peasants were forced by Indian British to pay heavy land taxes. Indian peasants were forced to pay the illegal overdues also. Who was the Indian agriculturist who severely affected by this scheme? Rajkumar Shukla. Who supported Gandhiji? French Kishore Prasad and Rajendra Prasad. Gandhiji supported success of Samran Satyagraha, which was followed by Ahmedabad mill strikes 1918, Kheda revolt 1918. Next day, Rowlatt Satyagraha and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Rowlatt Satyagraha and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. British Parliament enacted Government of India Act of 1919. This act did not transfer the real power to Indians. That's why Indians were totally disappointed. Indians rebelled against the British. British again, they passed the Rowlatt Act 1919. The Rowlatt Act which gave power to British police to arrest any suspected Indians. As per the norms of this act, many Indian leaders were arrested and imprisoned in the prison. Mahatma Gandhi called this act as a Black Act. Mahatma Gandhi organized the Anti-Rowlatt Act 6th April 1919 all over the country. He was supported by different kinds of the people. Gandhi also was arrested by British. In Punjab, two prominent local leaders, Dr. Satyabal, Dr. Saibuddin Kichliu, fought against this law. That's why these two leaders also were arrested and imprisoned. After arrest of these two leaders, thousands of Indians assembled inside the Jallianwala Bagh Park at Amritsar in Punjab, April 30th, 1919. Very immediately, British sent the army under the leadership of General Reginald Dyer. The British army was led by General Reginald Dyer. Came inside the park. The park was surrounded by a huge wall. The park has only one entrance. That entrance was completely closed. Reginald Dyer, he did not give any instruction, any warrant to the people. Without any warrant, without any instruction, simply he entered the park and gave the order for firing. The firing was lasted for 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, many people were killed. Many people were injured and wounded. After this incident, he imposed a martial law over the city of Punjab. As per this law, many Indians were beaten severely. After this incident, Rabindranath Tagore already he got a knighthood title from the British. After this incident, Rabindranath Tagore renounced this title. Mahatma Gandhi also, he got Kaiser High Hind Medal. After this incident, Mahatma Gandhi also renounced it, gave up the Kaiser High Hind Medal. Who enacted Government of India Act of 1919? When was Rowlatt Act of British Parliament enacted Government of India Act of 1919? When was Rowlatt Act passed? 1919. What was the importance of Rowlatt Act? Rowlatt Act which gave the power to the British police to arrest any suspected Indians. How did Gandhi call this act? Black Act. When did Gandhi organize the Anti-Rowlatt Act? 6th April 1919. Where the two prominent local leaders were arrested by British. Sir Satyabal, Sir Saibuddin Kichliu. When did most of the people assemble inside the Jallianwala Bagh Park? April 13th, 1919. Name the general who organized the British army and prevent the protestants of the people. General Reginald Dyer. Name the law was imposed by over the city of Punjab. Martial law. After Jallianwala Bagh incident, who renounced the knighthood title? Rabindranath Tagore. Who renounced the Kaiser High Hind Medal? Mahatma Gandhi. Cloud movement. First World War, which was started in 1914, it was lasted in 1918. First World War was started in 1914, it was ended in 1918. This war was organized by two opposite blocks. One side is Central Powers under the leadership of Germany, another side it was organized by Allies under the leadership of Britain. Turkey was on the side of Central Power. End of the First World War, Allies won the battle. Central Powers were defeated. Turkey also was defeated. Caliph of Turkey was head of the Muslim community of the world. As he was the head of the Muslim community of the world, he was given harsh treatment by British. In order to fight against the British, two Ali brothers, Maulana Muhammad Ali, Maulana Sawat Ali. Two Ali brothers, Maulana Muhammad Ali, Maulana Sawat Ali, two Ali brothers, they formed a club at movement 1919 to protest against the British activities. Many Indians joined this movement as a member. Mahatma Gandhi also supported this movement. Gandhiji saw a good opportunity for the Hindu-Muslim unity in this movement. Once again, two Ali brothers, they organized a All India Club Conference which was held at Delhi on November 1919. In this conference, they adopted 3 national slogans. For example, Allahu Akbar, Vande Mataram, Hind Musliman ki Jai, Hind Musliman ki Jai. 3 national slogans were implemented by Ali brothers in the All India Club movement, All India Club Conference, which was held at November 1919. Mahatma Gandhi supported this national slogan. Then Club committee meeting, which was held at Ahmedabad in 1920. This movement which accepted Gandhiji's non-cooperation programs. When was the First World War started? 1914. When was First World War lasted? 1918. Name the 2 hostile blocks which fought against First World War. One side, Central Powers under the leadership of Germany, another side is Allies under the leadership of Britain. Name the country which was on the side of the Central Powers, Turkey. Name the countries who won the battle end of the First World War, Allies. Name the countries which were defeated end of the First World War, Central Powers. Who was the head of the Muslim community of the world, Caliph of Turkey. What punishment was given to him by British? Harsh punishment. Who are the founder of the Club movement? Ali brothers, Maulana Muhammad Ali, Maulana Sawat Ali. Name the conference which was organized by Ali brothers, All India Club Conference at Delhi, November 1990. Name the national slogan which were implemented by Ali brothers during the time of the Club Conference. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Vande Mataram, Hind Musliman ki Jai. Which committee adopted Gandhiji's non-cooperation program? Club committee meeting. Club committee meeting. Non-cooperation movement in 1920. Non-cooperation movement which was approved by Indian National Congress at the Calcutta Congress session in September 1920. Non-cooperation movement was passed by Indian National Congress on the Nagpur Congress session, December 1920. These 2 sessions were presided over by Salam C. Vijayaraghavacharya. Non-cooperation movement which included surrender of all titles, honors, medals, rewards and awards and government employment also, boycott of British goods, boycott of government legislature, schools, colleges and court, non-participation of government functions, government parties, official functions. Gandhiji adopted no tax program. It was attracted by number of people. For example, many Indian lawyers, they dropped their law practice and joined with him. Many Indian government employees also resigned their post and joined with Gandhiji. Many school students also gave up their studies and joined with Gandhiji. Process of nationalist, which was organized February 5, 1922 at Chauri Chaura. It is a village near Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh. They burned one police station. They killed 22 policemen without Gandhiji's order, without Gandhiji's discussion or proposal. They themselves did this mistake. After this incident, Gandhiji suspected non-cooperation movement. After suspension of non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji worked for Hindu-Muslim unity. Gandhiji worked for removal of untouchability. Gandhiji spent time for upliftment of welfare of women. When was non-cooperation movement approved by Indian National Congress? Indian non-cooperation movement was approved by Indian National Congress on the session of Calcutta session on September 1920. When non-cooperation movement was passed by Indian National Congress, it was passed by Indian National Congress on the Nagpur Congress session on December 1920. Who presided over the session of the Indian National Congress? Salam C. Vijayaraghavacharya. What did the non-cooperation movement provide? Surrender of all titles, honors, medals and government employments. Boycott of British goods, boycott of government schools and colleges, legislature and court, non-participation of British functions, British parties, official functions. Who adopted a no tax program? Gandhiji. When did the process of nationalist take place? February 5, 1922 at Chauri Chaura is a village near Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh. How many policemen were killed by the process of nationalist? 22 policemen. How many police stations was burned by this process? One police station. Who suspected non-cooperation movement? Gandhiji. After suspension of non-cooperation movement, what did Gandhiji do? After suspected non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji worked for Hindu-Muslim unity and removal of untouchability and worked for upliftment of women welfare. Boycott of Simon Commission. Simon Commission was appointed by British in 1927. Simon Commission arrived in India in 1928. Simon Commission was appointed to look after the work of the Act of 1919. This commission was presided over by Sir John Simon. It consists of 7 Englishmen. It is called the White Men Commission. This commission did not have any Indian as a member. This commission, as this commission was Englishmen, White Men Commission, it was boycotted by Indian Nationalist Movement, Indian National Congress, Muslim League also protested with strikes, burn, and slogan of Simon Commission, go back Simon, black flag demonstration also. In meantime, Lala Lajpat Rai, he was the greatest Indian patriotic leader. He fought against Simon Commission. That's why he was severely, subsequently injured by police discharge. After a few days, he died. After his death, Bhagat Singh, he protested against the activities of the British. When was Simon Commission appointed? 1927. When did Simon Commission arrive in India? 1928. Why it was appointed? In order to look after the work of the Act of 1919. Who presided over the Simon Commission? Sir John Simon. How many Englishmen as a member of this commission? 7 Englishmen. Why this commission was protested against by the Indian National Congress? It is a purely white man commission. It did not have any Indian as a member. That's why it was protested by Indian National Congress and Muslim League also. Name the prominent Indian leader who was severely police assault, severely subsequently injured. Lala Lajpat Rai. After death of the Lala Lajpat Rai, who fought against the British? Bhagat Singh. Pune Swaraj. Indian National Congress session, which was held at Lahore, December 1929. This session was organized by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He was the president of this session. Purna Swaraj was the main goal of this session. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru rejected the roundtable conference. He accepted Gandhiji's civil disobedience movement. He accepted Gandhiji's program of no tax program. January 26, 1930, this day was declared as India's Independence Day. When was Indian National Congress session held at Lahore? December 1929. Who presided over this session? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. What was the important goal of this session? Purna Swaraj. What did Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru reject? He rejected roundtable conference. What did he accept? He accepted civil disobedience movement, no tax, no non-payment of tax. Named the day which was celebrated as India's Independence Day, January 26, 1930. Salt Satyagraha movement. Indian National Congress which adopted a charter of demands. The charter of demands which included reduction of 50% of the expenditure on the both military and civil service. Reduction of 50% of the land revenue. Then prohibition of liquor shops. Release of Indian political prisoners. Abolition of salt tax. Charter of demands which was implemented by Indian National Congress, which was presented to Viceroy Lord Irwin. It was not responded by him. That's why Gandhiji organized the Salt Satyagraha movement on 12th March 1930 at Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad in Gujarat to Dandi. He was associated with 78 social satyagrahis. He was joined with hundreds of volunteers. They traveled a number of mountains, hills, hillocks, ranges, forest. They reached Dandi by feet. They reached Dandi at the age of 61. They crossed a distance of 241 miles after 24 days. They reached Dandi 5th April 1930 at evening. Next day morning, he went to seashore of Dandi and broke the salt law and took the handful of salt. The same Satyagraha movement which was organized by Salem C. Vijayaraghavacharya, Rajagopalacharya in Tamil Nadu. C. Rajagopalacharya organized this Salt Satyagraha movement in Tamil Nadu. He started this march from Tiruchirappalli to Vedanthapuram on Thanjavur coast. The Salt Satyagraha movement also which took place in Kerala, Andhra and Bengal. Salt Satyagraha movement which took place in northwestern provinces under the leadership of Khan Abdul Qadir Khan. After this revolt, Gandhiji was arrested. Gandhiji was sent to Yerrawadi jail. Other leaders also, one by one, they were arrested. Later, people practiced the boycott of British goods, boycott of government functions, government office, government legislature, schools and colleges and court, non-participation of government functions, government parties and official functions, abolition of salt tax, abolition of Forest Act. Who adopted Charter of the Demands? Indian National Congress. What did Charter of Demands include? Reduction of 50% of the expenditure on both military service and civil service. Reduction of 50% of the land revenue. Prohibition of liquor shops. Release of Indian political prisoners. Abolition of salt tax. The Charter of Demand which was presented to whom? Viceroy Lord Irwin. When did Gandhiji organize the Salt Satyagraha movement? 12th March 1930. Where did he organize? At Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad in Gujarat to Dandi. At the age of 61, he reached Dandi after 24 days with a distance of 241 miles with hundreds of volunteers, with 78 Sosan Satyagrahis. Finally, he was arrested and imprisoned in the Erawadi jail. Next, Roundtable Conference. There are 3 Roundtable Conferences. First Roundtable Conference, which took place in London 1930. British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, he announced the federal government for Indians. Indians did not accept it. Indian National Congress did not like to attend this first Roundtable Conference as its leaders were in jail. First Roundtable Conference was ended without any decision. Lord Irwin, Viceroy Lord Irwin, he met Gandhiji, he negotiated with Gandhiji, he made an agreement with Gandhiji. It was called the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, 1931, as per the norms of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact of 1931. British accepted it to release all Indian political prisoners from the prison, to abolish salt law, to release all political prisoners from the prison, to return back all confiscated lands of Indians to Indians. Mahatma Gandhi also agreed to attend the second Roundtable Conference. He agreed to accept suspension of civil disobedience movement. As per the norms of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact of 1931, Gandhi attended second Roundtable Conference. Second Roundtable Conference, which was held at London in 1931. In this conference, the second Roundtable Conference, which announced the separate electorates for depressed classes, minorities and women, it was rejected by Gandhiji. That's why he withdrew from the Roundtable Conference. He returned back to India. While he was landed in India, he reviewed once again civil disobedience movement. After he reviewed the civil disobedience movement, he was very immediately arrested by the British. Second Roundtable Conference also was failure. Second Roundtable Conference was ended without any decision. Third Roundtable Conference took place at London in 1932. Congress did not participate in this session. Without participation of Congress, the third Roundtable Conference also was completely failure. Third Roundtable Conference was completely declined without any decision. Ramsay MacDonald, he was a British Prime Minister. He passed in Communal Award in 1932. As per the norms of the Communal Award which granted separate electorates for depressed classes, low classes, minorities and women. This Communal Award was accepted by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and M.C. Raja, as they were leader of low class people. It was not accepted by Gandhiji because Gandhi expected only joint electorates for common people. Gandhi took fasting unto his death. Madan Mohan Malaviya and Rajendra Prasad approached Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to drop this idea. In order to save Gandhiji's life, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and M.C. Raja also dropped their idea and joined with Mahatma Gandhiji and signed Pune Pact 1932. As per the norms of the Pune Pact 1932, both Gandhiji and Ambedkar agreed joint electorates for common people. They rejected separate electorates for depressed classes. Gandhiji agreed to accept 18% reservation for depressed classes. When was first Roundtable Conference held? 1930 at London. When was second Roundtable Conference held? Second Roundtable Conference was held at London in 1931. When was third Roundtable Conference held? It was held at London in 1932. Which roundtable conference Gandhi attended? Second roundtable conference. When was Gandhi-Irwin Pact signed in 1931? What are the importance of Gandhi-Irwin Pact? Gandhi, as per the norms of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, British agreed to release all Indian political prisoners from the prison. British abolished salt law. British agreed to return back the confiscated land of the Indians. Gandhiji also agreed to attend the second roundtable conference. Gandhiji agreed to suspect the civil disobedience movement. When was Kamil Award passed? 1932. When was Kamil Award passed? 1932. As per what is the norms of Kamil Award? As per the norms of the Kamil Award, separate electorates for only minorities, depressed class and women. When was Pune Pact signed? Pune Pact was signed in 1932. As per the norms of Pune Pact, both Gandhiji and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar accepted joint electorates for common. They rejected separate electorates for depressed classes. Gandhiji agreed to give 18% of the seat reservation for depressed classes. Campaign against untouchability. Gandhiji devoted with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and fought against untouchability. They organized Harijan 2. They organized Harijan Savak Sangh. They promoted for education, promoted cleanness, promoted welfare, promoted hygiene for welfare of the depressed classes. They promoted a temple entry movement for depressed classes. They prohibited liquor shops among the depressed classes. January 8, 1930. January 8, 1930, this day was celebrated as the Temple Entry Day. Temple Entry Day. Who devoted with Dr. Ambedkar? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Mahatma Gandhiji. What did they promote? They promoted education, cleanness, and hygiene for the promotion of the depressed classes. Which day was celebrated as a Temple Entry Day? January 8, 1930. January 8, 1930. Government of India Act of 1935. British Parliament enacted Government of India Act of 1935. This act which provided provincial autonomy for Indians, diarchy at central level diarchy system, all subjects were transferred into control of Indian ministers. Francis was based on property. On the basis of property, only 10% of the people only enjoyed writing votes. Government of India Act of 1935, which separated Burma from India. Provincial election was held in 1937. In this election, Congress won the election. Congress contested the election and won the election. Congress gained 7 out of 11 provinces. Congress got a single majority and formed a ministry. When Congress formed a ministry, during the time of Congress rule, Congress government reduced the minister's salary from 2,000 to 500. Congress controlled the restriction on domestic newspapers. Police power was curbed. Police power was reduced. STD measures were also positive. Temple entry legislation also was positive. Then improvement of working condition of the laborers. Abolition of salt tax. Name the act which was passed by British in 1935, Government of India Act of 1935. What this act provide? The Government of India Act of 1935, which provided provincial autonomy, diarrhea center, all subjects were transferred into control of Indian ministers. Francis was based on property. Only 10% of the people enjoyed a right to vote. Burma was separated from India as per the norms of Government of India Act of 1935. When election was held, 1937, name the party which got majority seats and formed ministry, Indian National Congress. What are the measures adopted by Indian National Congress? They reduced the minister's salary 2,000 to 500. They prevented restriction on domestic newspapers. They controlled Indian administration. They abolished the salt tax. 1939, Second World War broke out. After the outbreak of the Second World War, 1939, British adopted Indian Army in the war. When British adopted Indian Army in the war, British did not get any suggestion, any ideas from Congress ministers. That's why Congress ministers were totally disappointed. Congress ministers resigned their post and protest against the activities of the British. Chris Mason. British sent Chris Mason to India in 1942 under the cabinet ministers Sir Stafford Cripps. Negotiation between Chris Mason and Congress was failed. Chris Mason granted dominant status for Indians after war. Indian princely states should sign the agreement individually to accept the demand for Pakistan. British controlled the Indian defense during the time of war. Both Indian National Congress and Muslim League did not accept the proposal of Chris Mason. Gandhi called the proposal of Chris Mason as a post-dated check from Crushing Bank. When did British send the Chris Mason to India? 1942. Who presided over this mission? Sir Stafford Cripps. What did Chris Mason grant to Indians? Chris Mason granted dominant status for Indians after war. Chris Mason granted dominant status for Indians after war. Indian princes, each and every Indian princess should sign the separate agreement to accept Pakistan demand of the Pakistans. Indian princess accepted demand of Pakistan. Then both the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League did not accept the proposal of the Chris Mason. Gandhi called the proposal of Chris Mason as a post-dated check from the Crushing Bank. Subhash Chandra Bose became president of Indian National Congress in 1939. Before him, Patabi Sitaramaya was the leader of President of Indian National Congress. He was the candidate of Gandhiji. Subhash Chandra Bose defeated Patabi Sitaramaya. That's why Gandhiji did not support Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose left Congress. He organized himself as a forward black party. He fought against the British through his party. He was house arrested. From his house, he escaped and went to Afghanistan and stayed in Afghanistan. Later, he went to Soviet Union. He got support from Soviet Russia and stayed in Soviet Russia. As Soviet Russia joined the British alliance, Subhash Chandra Bose withdrew his alliance from Soviet Russia. Again, he went to Germany and got support from Adolf Hitler. He fought against the British. Later, he went to Japan. With support of Japan, he formed the Indian National Army. He was president of Indian National Army. Then the captain of Indian National Army was Lakshmi Sahgal. The slogan of Indian National Army was Delhi Chalo. Indian National Army, which formed the professional form of government of Free India. Indian National Army was declared after Japan was surrendered to British. With the support of Japan, Indian National Army was successful. Indian National Army was formed. Indian National Army did great things. Indian National Army fought against the British. End of the Second World War, Japan unconditionally surrendered to British. After surrender of Japan, Japan was not able to give any support for success of Indian National Army. Subhash Chandra Bose, he returned back to Japan and traveled by aircraft. He met accident. After this accident, Indian National Army was declined. British arrested Indian National Army's officials, soldiers and captain. When did Subhash Chandra Bose become a president of Indian National Congress? 1939. Before him, who was the president of Indian National Congress? Patabi Sitaramaya. Who was he? He was a candidate of Gandhiji. Name the party was formed by Subhash Chandra Bose, Forward Black Party. When he was arrested by British in his home, after escaping, he went to Afghanistan. Name the army was formed by him, Indian National Army. Who was the president of Indian National Army? Subhash Chandra Bose. Who was the captain of Indian National Army? Lakshmi Sahgal. What was the slogan of Indian National Army? Delhi Chalo. Name the government was formed by Indian National Army. Provincial form of government for Free India. When it was declined, after surrender of the Japan to British, end of the war. Similar conference. Wavell Plan was adopted in 1945. Wavell Plan which provided interim government. Interim government was adopted. Interim government was adopted with equal member of both Hindus and Muslims in executive councils. Then surrender of interim government was formed. Interim government was formed with equal member of both Hindus and Muslims in the provincial Hindus and Muslims in the executive councils. Portfolios were held by Indian ministers except a war portfolio. Similar conference which was held. In this conference, Indian National Congress and Muslim League did not come to participate and sign the agreement. Election was held in 1946. In this election, Congress won the majority general seats. Muslim League won the majority reserved seats. Name the plan which was implemented in 1945. Wavell Plan. What did Wavell Plan provide? Wavell Plan which provided interim government which was formed with equal number of both Hindus and Muslims in the executive council. Portfolio was held by Indian ministers except war portfolio. When did election hold? Election was held in 1946. In this election, name the party which got majority of general seat, Indian National Congress. The election which was held in 1946, name the league which got majority of reserved seats. Muslim League got majority of reserved seats. Cabinet mission. End of the Second World War, election was held in England. Labour Party contested the election. Labour Party got majority seats. Clement Attlee became the Prime Minister of Prime Minister of Britain. Clement Attlee only gave the freedom for Indians. Clement Attlee formed the cabinet mission and sent it to India. Cabinet mission which was comprised of Patrick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps and A.B. Alexander. This mission came to India. It rejected demand for Pakistan. It accepted interim government. The provinces were divided into three groups. Non-majority Muslim provinces, majority Muslim provinces in the northeastern part of India, majority Muslim provinces in the northeastern part of India. Indian government was formed with the representatives of all communities. Both Indian National Congress and Muslim League accepted a cabinet mission. Who sent the cabinet mission to India? Who sent the cabinet mission? Clement Attlee. What did cabinet mission which comprised of? Cabinet mission which was comprised of Patrick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps and A.B. Alexander. What this commission reject? This commission rejected Pakistan demands. What did this commission accept? This commission accepted interior government. What are the division of the province of India? Non-majority Muslim provinces, majority Muslim provinces in northeastern part of India, majority Muslim provinces in northeastern part of India. Who accepted the cabinet mission? Indian National Congress and the Muslim League accepted cabinet mission. Mountbatten Plan. Clement Attlee, he wanted to transfer the power to India till June 1948. That's why he sent the cabinet mission under the leadership of Lord Mountbatten to India. Lord Mountbatten, he was the Viceroy of British. He was sent by Clement Attlee to India. Lord Mountbatten, he came to India. He offered a June 3rd plan or Mountbatten plan. Mountbatten plan which provided dominion status for Hindus and Muslims. Indian princely states would like to join either India or Pakistan. India, Pakistan. Who sent you? When was Mountbatten Plan launched? June 3rd, 1947. What did Mountbatten Plan provide? Mountbatten Plan provided dominion status for India, dominion status for India and Pakistan. Mountbatten Plan which gave advice to all the Indian princely states would like to join either India side or Pakistan side. Independence and partition. British Parliament enacted Independence Act of 1947. As per this act which controlled the restricted British domination over Indian provinces. India was divided into two domains. One is India, another one Pakistan. India won the independence on August 15, 1947. When did India get independence? India got independence on 15th August 1947. What are the two domains of India? India and Pakistan. Name the act which was passed by British Parliament in 1947. Conclusion. Dear students, I taught 10th standard history 8th lesson, Nationalism-GANDHIAN. From this lesson, I explained about evolution of Gandhi. Gandhi's studies, Gandhiji's birth, name of his father, name of his mother, then profession of his father, his railway journey experiences, how did he protest against the racial discrimination in South Africa, Samran Satyagraha, Tinkariya movement, Rajkumar Shukla, Pranji Kishore Prasad and Rajendra Prasad, they supported Gandhiji. Salt Satyagraha movement, Rowlatt Satyagraha and Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Indian Act of 1919, Rowlatt Act of Rowlatt Act 1919, Anti-Rowlatt Act 6th April 1919, Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, April 13, 1919. Rabindranath Tagore renounced the knighthood title. Mahatma Gandhi also renounced the Kaiser High Hind medal also because of Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Clubbed movement, All India Clubbed Conference, Ali Brothers, Maulana Muhammad Ali, Maulana Sauhat Ali. Gandhiji saw a good opportunity in the Hindu-Muslim unity in the Clubbed movement. Non-cooperation movement, when it was approved, when it was passed, what did non-cooperation movement provide? Who organized the no tax campaign? When was Chauri Chaura incident taken place? Boycott of Simon Commission, appointment of Simon Commission, arrival of Simon Commission. Lala Lajpat Rai, who was severely, subsequently injured by this police assault. Purna Swaraj, Indian National Congress session which was held at Lahore, December 1939. Lahore, it was attended by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Salt Satyagraha movement, civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji organized a march from Sabarmati Ashram and Allahabad in Gujarat to Dandi. His sacrifices, his dedication, his hard work for the attainment of independence. First roundtable conference, second roundtable conference, third roundtable conference. Then Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Communal Award, Pune Pact, campaign against untouchabilities. January 8, 1930, this day was declared as a Temple Unity Day. January 26, 1930, this day was declared as India's Independence Day. Government Act of 1935, Christmas 1942, Subhash Chandra Bose, his role, he became a president of Indian National Congress, formation of Indian National Army, his dedication and service for the India's Independence Day, Cabinet Mission, Clement Attlee, Lord Mountbatten, Independence, Partition. All these materials I elaborately teach in this lesson. Please give your sincere input and special attention towards this lesson to learn something. Don't miss it. Don't waste it. Please use it properly. Thank you very much.